After a horrible car accident, he had to relearn how to speak, eat, walk again. He is now the inspiration behind a support group website. We'll hear his story next. Welcome back to Plugged Into DFW. We are talking about brain injuries today and the amazing stories of courage and inspiration that go along with it. Joining us now is Michael Black, his mother Bernadette Coleman, and Michael's doctor, Dr. Alfred Johnson. Thank you for being here today. So, Michael, 3 years ago, around there, you had a car accident. Yeah. Do you remember what happened?
No, I don't remember, but I was told what happened. And my SUV rolled over 9 times and ejected me from the car.
Do you remember how you used to feel versus how you feel today?
Not really.
Not really.
Mm-mm.
So you have I would call this a traumatic brain injury, correct?
Yeah.
And as far as the way you function now, and we're looking at these pictures of you here in the hospital, what kind of limitations, if we put it that way, do you have now?
It's mostly just my balance and stuff like that.
Okay. But you did have headaches, or you still have headaches as well?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, Bernadette, as mom who's been through this, a long journey with your son.
Very long.
What have you experienced here in these last 3 years and the change?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but every 16 seconds in America there's a brain injury. So when that 16 seconds happens and it's someone in your family, it's very, very traumatic. Not only for them, but for the rest of the family. So the whole family, in a second, their lives change. So Michael's accident was very bad. He had diffuse axonal injury. He had brainstem shearing. He was in a coma for quite a while. We were actually told the 3rd day, I think, that we should probably just consider letting him go.
Wow.
So it was pretty bad. But he came through. It was a long, dark journey. We had lots of words of encouragement from other people that had gone through what we were going through. And those words of encouragement kind of just kept us pushing for his recovery. And it was a battle. I mean, we've pushed every single day. And slowly but surely, he had to learn everything again. To talk, to walk, to eat. I mean, it was...
And I'm just walking up here to the set. I mean, you're slower. I mean, it's not an easy task walking.
No, but practice makes perfect.
That's great. And now,
practices every day.
Dr. Johnson, you are here primarily for this hyperbaric oxygen treatment that you really believe has made an impact on Michael's life.
Michael has seen that in what actually has happened. And hyperbaric oxygen treatment is placing a person in a chamber under 100% oxygen and under pressure, so that it increases the oxygen to the cells, all cells of the body, including the brain, 5 to 7 times. And it helps wake up those cells that have been injured, that are idle cells. So in any type of injury, whether it's a stroke or whether it's a traumatic head injury, the cells do not work properly. And then, of course, in a stroke, there's a dead area, and then there's an area of idle cells around it, which then hyperbaric helps revitalize those cells. It speeds up the little mitochondria.
I mean, it makes so much sense. I would think that you'd want to do it immediately after an injury.
In Europe, they do.
Okay.
In the United States, it's not one of the approved treatments at this point in time. And Michael came to the facility, was having trouble speaking. He'd been through rehab, was having headaches, was having trouble with balance. And it's like rehab. Over a series of treatments, those cells tend to recover and heal themselves. And
did you notice a difference, Michael?
Yeah.
How has it helped you, hyperbaric oxygen treatment?
Actually, hyperbaric helped me go to sleep because I couldn't sleep at nights. And then it changed that and helped me with my balance and just about everything.
Do you continue to receive treatments?
No, not anymore.
What stage is it best then?
Well, sooner the better, once they're able to do it. And then it makes sense to follow up with treatments. And he's done that more than once. So he's had quite a few treatments. I don't know how many hours, but at least 80 to 120 hours of treatment.
You know, Bernadette, you mentioned how talking to other people has really helped you.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's turned you on to treatments and research and all that stuff.
We've tried so many things.
But TryMunity is the name of an actual support group?
Oh, yeah.
Share that.
We'll tell you the story. Well, during our darkest times, as I said, people would come to us and tell us their stories of survival, and we were getting emails from people to our Facebook page that we set up for Michael about his recovery from all over the world, and people were saying things like, oh, my daughter was in a car accident 5 years ago, and it was really bad, but she's getting married next month. Or, you know, my son had a car accident, and we didn't think he was going to live, but, you know, he's back in school. And so those words of encouragement really helped us. And fast forward when Michael was better and going through his recovery, we would share with him those stories of encouragement. So one day he said to me, why don't we start a Facebook page for people that have traumatic brain injury? Well, we have an internet marketing company. That's what I do in my real job, Advice Interactive Group. And so what we did was we created a Facebook for people with traumatic brain injury.
So an entire social network, essentially,
Yes.
for people with traumatic brain injury,
Yes.
where you can share and talk and...
It's amazing.
That's a beautiful idea.
Yeah, we have people on there every day.
Traumatic event, the traumatic event that happened to them. It's not all brain injury.
Okay, just trauma in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, the majority are people with traumatic brain injury. Many of them are the caregivers, the wives, the mothers, the husbands, but also many are people with a traumatic brain injury. And the words of encouragement and the sharing that goes on that site is just truly awe-inspiring. And there's thousands from all over the world. We have people from Japan, we have Ireland.
That special.
Yeah.
Good for you. How healing is that? You know, that's what it's about when you can share. When you can share as a community to get through something like this.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
problem.
Michael, Bernadette, Dr. Johnson, thank you so much for being here
happy to
today.
be
And
here.
for more information about the social community for brain injury survivors and supporters, again, it's called TryMunity. Go to the website, trymunity.com.